Hey everyone, welcome to Sunflower Yoga Works. Today we are going to be doing a 10-minute tutorial on sun salutations, which are one of the foundational sequences for a vinyasa-style yoga class. We'll get started at the top of the mat, so go ahead and meet me there whenever you're ready, and I hope you enjoy. All right, so starting at the top of the mat, we'll begin our sun salutation in a mountain pose. So we're standing tall with the shoulders nice and wide, relaxed away from the ears. Belly button is hugging in to support the spine, and the tailbone is slightly tucked under, standing with one long line from the tailbone through the top of the head, rooting down through the feet, finding the best posture that you've had all day. On the inhale, bring the arms up overhead, reaching tall, and then exhale, fold forwards. Taking our first forward fold position here, you have the option to reach the hands down toward the mat in front of you, or if you'd prefer to keep the hands up above the knees for support, you're more than welcome to do that here. Wherever you are, really let the weight of the head release down so there's no tension being held in the head or neck. Try to lengthen the legs as much as you can without finding any pain in the hamstrings. So we're trying to stretch through the back of the legs as much as the body will allow here, lifting the tailbone up toward the sky as we let the upper body hang down. Now on your inhale, we're going to lift the spine halfway, finding a flat back. So we're going to hang out here for a second, using the hands against the shins here for support as much as you need, hugging the belly button in to support the spine as we once again try and find one long line from the tailbone through the top of the head, forming a 90-degree angle with the body here. I like to imagine that I have a bowl of cereal sitting on my back and I have to balance the cereal using the abdominals to hold me here. Take one more inhale where you are, and then exhale, go ahead and release back into your forward fold of choice. Next step in our sun salutation is a plank pose. So bend the knees as much as you need to plant your hands and walk your feet back to a plank. You have two options here in your plank pose. You can either stay up on your toes or you can lower down onto your knees to make this a little bit easier. Either way, we're hugging the belly button in for support, making sure that the wrists are directly underneath the shoulders, keeping that nice long spine. Now the next step in our sun salutation is going to be a chaturanga, which basically takes us from our plank pose to the belly. You can watch it once if you prefer. We're starting at the top of our plank, either with the knees down or lifted, taking a big inhale at the top. Exhale, hugging the elbows in by the rib cage as we slowly lower down to the belly. So we're working the upper body muscles here, particularly the tricep or the back of the arm. I'm gonna model it once again from a full plank pose. So we're up on the toes, tucking the tailbone, inhaling at the top of the plank. Exhale, hug the elbows in by the sides as we slowly lower down, chaturanga. Good. So let's try it all together one more time, choosing whether you go from your knees or your toes. I'm gonna model it from my toes. We'll all meet with the belly down on the mat. Find your plank pose, take a big inhale at the top, and exhale, slowly lower down to the belly, chaturanga. Good. From here, the next step is a back bend of choice. So you can either take a cobra pose or an up dog pose. Cobra is going to be the less intense of the two. I will model that one first. So you have your hands down on either side of your chest. On the inhale, you press into the palms, lifting the chest as much as is comfortable, keeping the hips down. You're pulling your shoulder blades down and back, so they're squeezing together behind you. Chin is level to the mat. Good. Go ahead and release back down. We can take that again. Inhaling as we press into the palms, lifting the chest and shoulders, and then go ahead and release it down. If you want to take an up dog, that's going to be a little bit more intense here as a chest opener. On the inhale, you press into the palms, coming all the way up so the arms are lengthened and allowing the hips to lift up off of the mat. So it's only the tops of the feet and the palms that are down on the ground. The shoulders are still pulling down and back away from the ears. Gaze can come up slightly if that is comfortable. Go ahead and release back down onto the mat. And let's do one more back bend all together, choosing either cobra or up dog, inhaling as we lift. From here, we move into a downward facing dog. So we're lifting the hips up toward the sky, finding a triangle pose in the body. Now I want you to make sure that all 10 of your fingertips are spread nice and wide here on the mat. So all 10 fingers are supporting the weight of the upper body. Try to press your head and neck through the shoulders so that your chest comes closer to the tops of your legs. Really lift your tailbone nice and high up toward the sky. And then finally, press the heels down into the mat. So you're getting a nice stretch through the backs of the legs. And this is our fully engaged downward facing dog. If any part of the body does not like this pose, a great modification for downward facing dog is child's pose. So taking the knees wide and the toes together, sitting the hips back toward the heels, and letting the forehead release down. So if you prefer to do a child's pose in place of downward facing dog, you're more than welcome to do so. Otherwise, we're here with this triangle shape in the body. Now from wherever you are, the next step is going to be to move to the top of the mat, finding a forward fold. You have two ways to get there. So the easier way is obviously going to be to walk the feet up to the top of the mat and find your forward fold here. If you want to play around with adding in a little hop, you're in your downward facing dog. On the inhale, you bring the gaze between the hands, bend the knees, and on the exhale, you lightly hop up to the top of the mat into your forward fold. Whenever you get to your forward fold, you're allowing the head weight to release. The hands can be down or above the knees. The next step is to bring a slight bend to the knees and roll to stand, bringing the arms all the way up overhead at the top, big reach. And exhale the hands through heart center. Good. This is one full sun salutation. We'll continue to move through and talk about some different options. So let's get into a bit of a flow. On the inhale, bring the arms up overhead. And exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lift the spine halfway. Find your flat back, belly button hugs in. And then exhale, fold. Bend the knees to plant the hands. I'm going to throw out another option here. You can either step back to your plank pose, or you can hop back to your plank pose, finding a nice float all the way back to the top of your plank. If you choose to hop, you'll move directly into your chaturanga because we want to protect the elbows. So you never want to land a hop with a straight arm. You instead want to hop back directly into your chaturanga arm. So I'll model it once, taking an inhale here and exhale, hopping back, going right into chaturanga, up dog or cobra, and downward facing dog. Again, if you're in your forward fold and you simply want to step back to your plank, you'll be here, step back, taking a big inhale at the top of the plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale for up dog or cobra. And exhale into downward facing dog or child's pose if you prefer. On the inhale, bring the gaze between the hands, step or hop to the top of the mat. Finding your forward fold, little bend in the knees as we roll to stand. Bring the arms overhead, big inhale. And exhale, hands through heart center. Let's take one more round all together. Big inhale, arms come up. And exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lift the spine halfway. Find a flat back. And exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step or hop back to your plank pose. Taking a big inhale at the top of the plank. And exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale for up dog or cobra. And exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bring the gaze between the hands, step or hop to the top of the mat, finding a forward fold. Take a slight bend in the knees once you're there, rolling to stand. Bring the arms overhead at the top, big inhale. And exhale the hands through heart center. Thanks so much for watching today's sun salutation tutorial. If you have any additional questions or ideas for other tutorial videos, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for watching, and namaste.